Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Moletrap here, and I'm just on a Sen kick today, doing a lot of Sen games here. There was another replay. I was really wanted to see the end of that game between Sen and Idra, so there was another replay between Sen and Idra. I decided to go ahead and cast it as well. Anyway, we got Sen is going to be softball here, the red Zerg at the top left, or I guess top middle of the map, sort of. He's to the upper and left of Idra, who's going to be the blue Zerg again. And anyway, it should be an interesting game. Last game we saw Idra. I don't know if this was part of a tournament or something. I guess it might have been, to be honest with you, since they're playing 2 games in a row. But I'm not certain. Anyway, in the last game, which that's why I mentioned it, because I'm not sure if it was like the last game, like it was just played or not. But in the last game, Idra went for a very quick rush attack, basically, and Sen just got all kinds of defenses, just tons and tons of spine crawlers, and which are not creep tumors, by the way, and tons and tons of those, and held off and held off and held off, and finally counterattacked with once he got his roaches up, and caught Idra sort of in a timing attack where he got in his lair and he was starting to get some tech, starting to get some upgrades. But didn't really have a chance to get anything out, and apparently he felt he had inferior roaches, and yeah, so decided. Anyway, look at this. Sen has got a drone at Idra's expansion, trying to stop him from getting an expansion. Idra doing a very good job of attacking that drone actually with his own, and has been forced to put down a pool, and it's just going to bring that drone back in since he's not going to build a hatchery with it after all. He's scouted this hatchery over here for Sen. Sen needs to get up his own spawning pool pretty quick. There it goes down now. So spawning pool not too far behind Idra's. Just 300 hit points behind Idra's. So pretty good timing considering he got this expansion up quicker. Idra's going to get the expansion down secondly. So basically he's going to have to put a little bit of pressure on with his earlier spawning pool, force Sen to make be a little bit defensive in order to catch up economically. Otherwise he is going to be behind economically behind Sen. But in general, as far as your standard build order is concerned, Sen does have a bit of an advantage because he can defend in the time it takes. Although this is not a very long distance. It's a little bit long, especially for ground units compared to air, but it's not a huge distance for Zerglings to get over there, so it's not as big of an advantage, basically. Both players have, well, actually, Idra has an Overlord in Sen's base. Sen has run his Overlord out of the base. He's got it camped over here by the expansion just to see what's going on. It's always weird to see these little things swimming around inside there. Anyway, that's kind of beside the point. Spawning pool up for both players. Both players starting to spawn Zerglings. I wouldn't be surprised if Idra even gets a couple drones. Just get a couple Zerglings and then gets drones instead of getting extra Zerglings, just to try and catch up economically since his hatchery's up a moment later. But Sen is actually pumping out several Zerglings here. Sen with 10 Zerglings on the way, and Idra with a spine crawler coming, but spine crawlers take forever to build. Spine crawler is expansion here. It's interesting that Idra is kind of on the defensive a little bit, despite the fact that he had his spawning pool up earlier, and that's just because of the fact that he did. Oh my gosh! And Sen is just going mass lings here. Idra has an Overlord camped here. He sees this coming. He's gonna have to try and desperately pump out as many Zerglings as possible, but he's supply blocked. Oh no! His Overlord in the main base got killed. He got supply blocked, and he's got so many larvae. Oh no, that's horrible. Idra had so many larvae sitting around and could not make the Zerglings. He's managed to fight this off somehow. I don't know how he managed to do that. A couple queens and a few Zerglings in that spine crawler managed to hold things off after all. But more Zerglings coming out. Sen is going all in with this attack here. He's even going to bring his queen along and try and get it towards the main battle here and try and run it towards what's going on. No, he's actually just going to kill off that Overlord, try and supply block Idra again. Which would be horrible. He needs to get a couple Overlords out there. More Zerglings coming in. Is he going to be able to cap that queen? I guess, where did that queen go? Okay, the queen ran back. Okay, never mind. Wow, look at this. More Zerglings being produced here. Banelings are on the way for Idra, though. And if he gets a couple Banelings out, oh man, a couple Banelings could be huge. Lots of Banelings for Idra. And look at this. Sen going with a massive Zerglings. Idra has no choice but to counterattack at this point. He's just going to have to Wow, there's nothing he can do. Here he comes with the counterattack. He's using a single baneling on a drone. He needs to kill off. He's got to kill all of these drones with just this group of banelings. Drones running to all different locations, and oh, just too spread out. And Idra leaves the game. That is unfortunate to see, actually, because if Idra had had those forces at home instead, he could have barreled those banelings into the Zergling force and taken them out hardcore. But instead, he had to counterattack, and the banelings, not too good if they're good against things clumped up. But Sen just spread out his drones, and that's all there really was to it. He had enough banelings to destroy an entire mass of Zerglings if they're clumped up, but not enough banelings to do enough damage if things were spread out. So GG Sen, and nicely played both games. Idra had a good thought there and almost pulled it off, but things just got a little bit unlucky for him at the end, and Sen attacked at just the wrong moment for him. So GG, and nice quick little game there. Thanks for watching.